Welcome back. You're listening to Get Real, and I'm your host, Bob Gallagher. I'm joined in studio today by Mark Henderson and Kevin. Can you help me with the last name? Mahar.
Kevin Mahar, old-fashioned Gaelic.
Yes, of the 016. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
We're also joined today by our own business development manager, Aaron Thomason, who's new to the company and new to the show. Welcome to the show, Aaron.
Thank you.
So we asked you guys in today to talk about your new venture, the 016. What made you decide to, well, before we get to that, why don't you tell us a little bit about what the 016 is?
So the 016 is a social media platform that highlights, it's geographically based, so we run out of Worcester and the surrounding communities, and it's a social media site that highlights news and information. It's curated news and information as well as the regular social media functionality of interpersonal connections and photo sharing and that sort of stuff.
Excellent. So what made you decide to start the 016?
Well, I've been in media and journalism actually for about 25 years, and last 5 as a digital director at the Worcester Daily under New York Times ownership, and you could kind of see where social media was going. That it was A, going to be big, and B, that over time that readers and businesses really weren't going to be, the communities weren't going to be very well served.
Right.
So we've thought about this going back to 2012 really, to try and come up with how do we get it right so that the readers and the community and the businesses all are served on a social media platform.
And the focus is more local as opposed to the national reach of the bigger platform.
Absolutely, right? we're basically a hyper local, even though we're kind of a regional play. We're hyper local in the sense that 80 to 90% of all the content that we share is geographically centered or in and around Worcester. Right.
Whereas 80 to 90% with what you'd see elsewhere it would have nothing to do with the local stuff.
Correct, and it'd be politics. And we tell people, go to your favorite social media, and we all know what we're talking about. We're talking about Facebook. Go to your favorite social media, scroll for a while, keep scrolling, and see how many local news items of local importance you get, and then go to those individual pages, and you will see that you are not being served either journalistic news, or news about businesses that you followed. Right, so your favorite restaurant or the place down the street where somebody that you're not seeing that messaging, and so that created an opportunity for us to say, we can just actually do better of delivering those messages.
And we also carry information about local events as well, or?
Oh, absolutely, okay. Yeah.
Okay, good. So we already talked a little bit about your background, Kevin. How about your background?
Well, my background is half my career I spent in plastics manufacturing sales, food and medical packaging.
Yeah.
And half my career I spent in commercial lending.
Really?
And when I was an infant in the plastics manufacturing, Mark's sister brought him in for a summer job when he was a college student at Assumption College.
Oh, wow. So you guys have known each other for a long time.
We've known each other for a long time. And, when he didn't know anyone and our plant was primarily Portuguese, he would come and eat lunch every day with his sister. And his sister and I shared adjoining offices. So we've been friendly ever since then. I'm kind of at the end of my career. My wife has already retired. And this is perhaps Mark's best idea in 35 years. So I said I wanted to get involved if he'd make room for me.
Excellent. That's great to know.
Yeah, it's great. It was like putting the band back together again.
That's right. It's like a reunion tour.
Right. So I know you gave us a little bit of a sense of what the platform does. Going back to what you were talking about, local businesses. Yeah. So it's not going to be like a banner ad crazy type site where you've got this little news feed in the middle and like ads all around it, right?
Yeah, we don't do banners at all. There is a place for them, but just not in this.
Yeah.
And we think over time, and we've gone when we meet with businesses and potential advertisers, we say, the banner ads are ads. I don't want your ads. I want your news. Right. That's going to give you a better chance of success in promoting your business in the digital space.
Right. So rather than doing just your clunky ad type of thing, it's what do your customers need to know?
Exactly. I mean, there is a place for a branding campaign, and there's also a place for actionable,
Right.
something that's actionable. And we want to get closer to that because guess what? We found out that readers don't look at what we consider to be those types of ads as ads. They
Right.
look at it as helpful news and information.
Right.
And so we looked at it that way as saying, okay, even though I'm a I bleed ink. I'm a former journalist. I bleed ink. I understand that from the reader's perspective, they want news, whether it's journalistic news or whether it's commercial news. They just want news that makes their life easier.
Right.
Right. And helps them out in some way.
Right. And maybe isn't depressing or irritating or anything else that you might get from the bigger ones.
For you mean from
the bigger
from some of the bigger social media networks whose job it has been just to engage by inflaming, basically,
right?
And passions, and we just say, you know what, we're not going to do that. We're going to go back to the bedrock functionality, which is we're going to inform you, we're going to entertain you, and we hope that if we do those two things, as you mediate your life, you will give us some of your time.
And are you starting to see that more and more people are kind of pulling away from the big guys a little bit? I mean, I know myself, I've been pulling away. And it's not just the political stuff either. It's the sad, horrible stories that they promote, like, something terrible happening to children or whatever it happens to be.
Yeah.
Stuff that you don't necessarily need to be barraged with at 10:30 at night before you're trying to go to sleep.
Exactly. And we've seen that. And to be clear, I mean, I'm still a fan. I still go on Facebook every day. But what I go there for is different. And I don't and I'm past the point where I think I'm going to be informed about what's happening in my community. I'm past that point. And I think a lot of people are getting that. If you want to connect with your friends and family and share pictures and relive old times, great. And that's what I do.
Yeah.
But I don't go, with 60% of people adults saying that they were getting their news from Facebook. If that's how they were getting it, they're finding on our site they can get more local news and information.
Right. Which is what I want. It must be what a lot of other people want too.
Exactly.
So what are your plans for the platform as you continue to grow?
Well, we're still young. I hate to say, because we've been thinking about this and doing it so long. We hate to say we're still out there and we're still young, but our goal is to just get to the point where we've learned what we needed to learn. We started with an idea. We're following the data. We're improving. We're growing. We're now getting word of mouth out there, which is great. It was to prove it in Worcester and then to see where else we could do this. So we're thinking about trying to consider, maybe a 4 to 8 city test in New England, where we could go into multiple population centers and kind of recreate this model elsewhere, and then see where it goes from there.
Excellent. And Aaron, you had some questions about how this would tie into local business as well.
Right. So I guess just to clarify, where are you pulling your content from?
We get it from everywhere. So there will be. We had an idea over time of who is making news, right? And a newsmaker could be City Hall, can be a newsmaker. So we have a list of, there's hundreds of sources that we're pulling from.
Okay.
And we can pull them from websites and from social media feeds and from basically anywhere.
Okay. All right. Can you talk about the percentage of views that you get on the larger sites versus what you guys offer?
Yeah, so what we found out, and this has been declining for a while, is it's called organic reach, right? So the social media sites came up and say, remember all those, follow us on Facebook or follow us on this, right? And they said, come and build your audience. And then when you went to serve that audience over time, you're seeing that you're not able to reach all those people that you've convened, right? And so that's called what we call throttling. And so one of the things is that a lot of people now, whether it's businesses or media companies, are seeing an organic reach as low as 2% nowadays.
Wow.
Down from 14% a number of years ago, or 25% a number of years ago.
Yeah.
And so that also created the opportunity for us to come in and say, we're going to go against that. And we're going to say, if a business has convened an audience on our platform, they can serve that audience on our platform. If you have 1,000 people and 1,000 followers log in, 1,000 people will see your message. And that's been kind of our bedrock as far as how we serve local businesses. Everybody that you get, you keep. You catch,
Right.
It's like fishing. If you catch them, you keep them.
Right. And on the other hand, if your readers are interested in seeing, these news pieces from their local businesses, they can trust that they're going to see it versus on the larger platforms where maybe they're not going to see it unless that person or business pays for it.
Unless they pay for it, because that's their model, right? So the social media model is to boost posts, and whether you're, again, a media company or a business, they want you to boost. And this is why, as organic reach has gone down, their profits have gone up. Right. So this is their model, right? And so what we just said is, no, we're just going to reset this, and we're just going to say, we're going to be cost effective for them on a per thousand basis, on a per user basis, and at the end of the day, as you grow your audience, as you spend the time to build your audience on our platform, understand that you can keep that audience.
Okay. Can you share about how a sponsor can customize their presence and their contribution?
Yeah, well, it's great. I mean, we work with, and it's great. I don't think we have any two customers who are doing the same thing. They all look at it. They all kind of look at it differently. So car dealers can actually run their entire inventory in, and then testimonials are big because they're mentioning other people and they're putting up a photo of the things that they've done. Yeah. We've had other people that have just decided that they're going to post videos on there, or so they can use it any way they see fit. And a lot of businesses. And when we talk to businesses, a lot of businesses don't realize all the assets that they have, right? Whether they be digital assets or other sorts of assets. And one of the things is that we're going out and talking to people is we're trying to get them to think about the immediacy that you can have with social media, right? As we, if you're a restaurant and you see that it's going to rain tomorrow, you could say, maybe it's a good night the night beforehand to talk about free delivery. Right. And that sort of stuff. So we're trying to also work with the clients and be kind of consultants to the clients of saying, no, this is kind of what we've seen over time. Yeah. Will work and can help you break through and support your business. And, social media has done one thing, is that it's gotten businesses to realize that they have to take an active role in marketing their business. That was a long time that didn't exist. Now we're basically telling them we're taking it the next step. It's like, no, think about immediacy. Right. And from that standpoint, you have all the assets and you know what's unique about your business, and let's just drive that message home.
That's great.
Excellent. So how do you get all the content from the businesses that want to partner with you?
So what we do is we come in and we just say, our base model is any business can go on, create for free. And what we do have is we have then a thing called verified users, and they can pay us a small monthly fee to be a verified user. And that allows them to basically continue to serve their audience and be easily found. Right, so that's a low fee. That's $20. We're about to raise it to $30, but it's $20. And then what we'll do is then after that they have their page and their content. Then we'll work with them and say, where do we want to pull it from? Do you want it from your website? You want it from a newsletter? We take all your content and we can repost it here. And then our job is to deliver that. And then after that $30 model, we go up increasingly, get the brands more visible, right? To where we're even selling sponsorship of the site.
Gotcha.
We just think about this differently depending on what the needs of the customer are. You can, if you're a bank, you might want to be in touch, sponsor the business section. If you're a restaurant, you want to sponsor dining out, but there are some people who just would saturate the market, so they want to have the option to do that. So we said we're going to bend over backwards to work with the customer and make sure it works. And so we had that kind of the scalable opportunities for them to get their message out and to get their name out, to get their message out.
Right. And for the local businesses that want to partner with you, do they get like their own page on the site, or how does that setup work?
Yeah, it has their own page on the site.
Okay.
So they can do that. And what we have a couple of different options, but basically whatever they put on their page or whatever they pay us to do it programmatically. So we've said to people, if you don't want to manage it, or you got some, your son or daughter is managing your Facebook presence, just tell them just to keep doing it, and then just give us the okay, and give us the sign off, and we'll go in and we'll know within 3 minutes if you've posted something on your Facebook page, and we'll grab it and we'll reshare it on our platform, on your page.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, in 3 minutes, that's being generous. We can do it much faster than that.
That's excellent.
Yeah, and then if you have a sponsorship where you're sponsoring a section, we will actually take that and insert it into the section, right? So if you sponsor, say, cars, then we take whatever it is that you put on your page and we will put it into the cars section.
Oh, nice.
Right? So there's having your presence and then having us increase the visibility of that, right? Which is basically what marketing and social media is about.
Right. Now, for a company like ours, how would that tie in? For, say, a mortgage company, how would you tie that in?
Well, yeah, you can do a number of different things. It's like we have a home section. We're working with people to, I don't want to give away too much because we're still talking,
Right.
but we're trying to figure that out as far as and listings and how things work and how to navigate that process for first time home buyers. So we're actually, that's one of the great things about the platform. We can actually work with the customer and say, okay, we don't know everything. We're good, but we don't know everything.
Right.
And let's take a look at the stuff that you're creating. Let's figure out how to get an audience to it. And then let's use our knowledge of what audiences are looking for, and maybe we can just have a discussion about what would work best, what we think would work best for you, and what would work best for the reader.
Excellent. And for businesses or business owners that may be listening that are interested in learning more about the 016 and sponsorships, who should they contact? How do they go about getting more info?
They call either one of us.
Yeah, they call either one of us. They can write to us on the website. They can email us. We have our phone numbers. Everything's listed on the website.
Right.
So we're available literally 24 hours a day because we almost never sleep.
Okay, good.
This is like having a child.
Yeah.
And it's fun. But I think to summarize the 20 minutes, for business owners or managers or social media or advertising marketing people, we have a product that will get you in front of 5,000 people for as low as $30 a month. And you can spend a few $100s a month. And you can manage your own campaign. You can manage what you want to be seen, when you want it to be seen. And it's a product that really can't be beat for the price.
Excellent. Very good. So anybody that's listening right now, if you'd like more information, check out the016.com online, and you can find all the contact information for Kevin and Mark right there. I want to thank you both for joining us on the show today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Bob.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks,
You're very welcome.
Aaron.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with more Get Real after these messages.